Hello, beautiful stars. This is Gwendolyn, and this is going to be your Tarotscope for November. I'm doing a bunch of different things this month. I want to talk a little bit about Venus in retrograde. Venus went into retrograde in Scorpio at the beginning of October, and it's going to be in retrograde until mid-November, and then it goes back into Libra. And this can really be a powerful time. It can really bring things out of the depths. Venus is the planet of love, money, values, things that we value in life. And Scorpio represents diving deep. It represents going deep into the mystery of things, where things regenerate. It can be going into the shadow. It's the murky waters. And I always think of a Star Wars reference when I think of Scorpio. It's like when Luke is going into the forest where things are scary and he's confronting his shadow self. And it's often when we dive into those murky waters that we find the pearls. It's just like diamonds are enclosed in carbon and coal, and you have to sort of dig away all that stuff, all of our shadow stuff, our core wounds, our fears, our coping mechanisms, all of that stuff is what Scorpio is about. Scorpio is able to go dive deep into that intensity, is able to traverse into those murky waters. And so with Venus being in Scorpio, it's about seeing where the depths are in the way that love shows up for us. And it's almost like unearthing all of that hidden stuff, all the stuff that maybe we keep buried inside. And it's an opportunity for release of that. I often see Scorpio as, sort of a volcanic force. It's like a Pele force in the Hawaiian tradition, where it's volcano energy coming up that purges and burns away everything. It can be destructive. But its function is to create new land, to create new fertile land. And if we look at Venus, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. And Taurus is terra firma, above ground, what we see on the surface. And Scorpio is what's below the surface, subterranean. So when Venus is going down into Scorpio, it's sort of like stirring up those waters of what's underneath. It's requiring us to dive deep, look for those pearls, look for those gems, and release all that stuff. And it almost builds a tension, so that when we pull back and keep, stirring up those waters, maybe it's creating confusion, maybe it's creating more mystery, maybe it's creating more wounds being released, more purging, but it's almost creating a tension that gets pulled back, so that when we emerge into Sagittarius, that's like an arrow we've been pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, it shoots us forward. And Libra is all about equanimity, harmony, grace, order. That's where Venus is headed. So right now we have the Sun in Scorpio, we have Venus in Scorpio in retrograde. Venus is going to be going into Libra. Also in retrograde, that's where it's going to go back direct in harmony, in grace, in balance, in order. And then the Sun's going to charge forward into Sagittarius. So this whole Scorpio period, although it may feel intense, and that's gone from October 5th again to mid-November, it's an intense time. It's bringing up all that, purging all that, I just look at it as carbon. It's like the murky waters. What are our wounds about? We're going down deep into the depths. That's what Scorpio is about. And even if it feels intense, what it's doing is it's cleansing us. For Venus to go into Libra, it's harmonizing and balancing, clearing away all the gunk, so that we can go forward with grace and equanimity and harmony and clarity and balance. And then it also is prepping us for this period where the sun's going into Scorpio, which is full of optimism. It's full of truth-telling. It's full of exploration. It is the traveler, the explorer. So it's also about the archer. So it's shooting forward. So if you're going through turbulent times right now, that's Scorpio energy. That is having the courage to dive deep, having the courage to go into that forest, face your fears, and befriend the shadow, and walk out of the forest with it, heal it. So that's what's going on, everybody. I am going to be holding up the cards this month. I usually just show the surface, and I have these makeup bags that I keep my cards in. I love them. These are from Ipsy. I really like those. But I think this month I'm going to use the Waite. So I just wanted to say that as we are going through Scorpio season, and also with Venus retrograding in Scorpio and Libra, be gentle with yourselves. Know that this is a purging. It's a having the courage to look at our wounds and to go through those murky waters, to confront the shadow self and maybe heal those, so that when we move forward with Venus in Libra, we have that harmony, that balance. We were able to release and purge some of that. And that when the sun moves into Sag, we've got that optimistic, carefree, straight shooting, you know, we've drawn the bow back. The amount of work that we do will draw the bow back to shoot it forward, and we'll go forward to the extent that we do the work. So that's the preparation for this month. And also, I've been doing a lot of work with Ho'oponopono. It's a beautiful prayer. It's a beautiful practice. And if you're interested in doing some healing work, it's just 4 steps. It's very simple. It is asking for forgiveness. Actually, the first one is saying, I'm sorry. So it's repentance. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, gratitude, appreciation, and then love. So I love you. So the practice, you can focus on anything, whether it's something that you want to heal within yourself, something that it can be applied to anything. So it is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Try that out and see if it doesn't create magic and miracles and healing in your world, both for you and others. So anyway, I'm going to go on to each sign. Just want to say that. I want to thank all of you for being here. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're one of my regular stars. Thank you so much for being here and watching, and here comes November. Hello Capricorn, welcome to November. This is Gwendolyn. I'm just going to give a couple shuffles here and we'll get right into the reading. So let's see what's going on for Capricorn for November 2018. Okay, Capricorn. What we got coming up? Your opening card is 8 of Cups. So it looks like you might be moving on from something, Capricorn. It looks like this card is usually feeling a little bit tired, feeling a little bit weary, being ready for the next cycle, leaving something that you've put a lot of your heart, love, and attention into. It's something that, you know, 8s are emotion, or cups are emotion, and 8 of Cups means something that you've like stacked all these cups of your heart into something. It could be a relationship, a job, a home, anything that you've put a lot of time, love, care, consideration, attention into, and you're ready to move on. It means feeling like you are ready for the next cycle. So there might be something that you're completing at the beginning of November here. It might be a cycle you're completing, Capricorn. Next up we have 6 of Coins. So this is a card about reciprocity. It means getting paid what you're worth, mutuality. It means whatever you put out is what you get back. So it may mean, you know, for some of you, this could be moving on. I'm going to put it like this just to see. Moving on from this job to something that pays you better, where you're more valued, where you are recognized for what you bring to the situation, where you get better compensation. So it could be, or it could even be that you're moving on to somewhere where you have a better financial outlook, like moving on to somewhere where it's less expensive, where it fits your budget. Some of you may be moving into a house that has less expenses. Perhaps you're downsizing, you know, if you've had a child that's moved on to college, or if you're just moving into a smaller place so that you have less of an overhead. That could also be the case here. Either increasing your money in terms of income or decreasing in terms of expenses is what I see. If it's related to relationship, it could just be that you're moving on from something that doesn't feel like it's equitable, that it doesn't feel like it's reciprocal, onto something that does feel more mutual, more balanced, where you're receiving more. What else do we have? Ace of Wands in reverse. So that's sort of like saying you have this passionate, enthusiastic new beginning that's coming to you, but for whatever reason there's a little bit of fear, doubt, or resistance to going into it. This is sort of like the fire is brewing underneath the surface, is how I read Ace of Wands in reverse, is that this passionate, new, exciting beginning is sort of like, the image for this is the runner that's holding the baton, or it's the person who's twirling the baton out in front of the parade. That's Ace of Wands energy. It's the active element. But in reverse, it's saying, I want a new beginning, but I don't know if I'm ready for it. I want to start this new thing, but I don't know if I can. So it's sort of like there's a new beginning, but there's some fear, doubt, or resistance that needs to be removed in order to let that in. And that may be related to a loss of some sort. This is Five of Cups in reverse. So I see with this that there is some grief, some loss, some sorrow, but that you've processed through a certain amount of it. It may be that you're sad about leaving something else behind and you are ready for this new beginning, but there's a little bit of overlap between letting the old story go and letting the new beginning in. In other words, you've recovered a bit from this grief, from this loss, from the acceptance of moving on from something, but you're not quite sure if you're ready for the new beginning, is what I'm seeing with these cards. But it's definitely telling me that you want something that is healthy, that is fair, that is equitable, that is just, that is reciprocal and balanced. So that's why you're ready to move on. For some of you, I'm getting that there may have been a death of some sort and you're moving on and collecting yourself. You don't really want to start over again, but you're going through the grief process, and so this beginning is sort of like showing up for you, but it's showing up in reverse, saying, you know, I'm trying to come in, but I understand you need to process through this before you can let that in. Let's see what else is going on. I'm also seeing the World here at the bottom of the deck. So that is a completion of some sort. That is just validating this Eight of Cups, moving on from something. Some sort of cycle has completed for you, Capricorn. And you'll know what that is. You'll know whether it is monetary, related to a job, related to a home, related to a relationship, or what else that might relate to. It's something, though, I see you might have some sadness about moving on from it, and you're not really sure if you're ready to begin again, is what Ace of Wands and Five of Cups in reverse tell me. I see Temperance in reverse. This may be a real shakeup for you. It may be an emotional shakeup, because Temperance in the upright means feeling stable, feeling serene, feeling balanced, feeling like you have emotional equanimity, you have emotional balance, you have, it's about compromise, feeling centered, feeling grounded. And with this in the reverse position, it may be sending this moving on, maybe sending your emotional balance out of whack. I'm just seeing with Ace of Wands, Five of Cups, and Temperance all in reverse, it's kind of like you accept what's going on, but you're still struggling with it, is what I get from that. It's sending your angel of balance and peace out of harmony. You're trying to find your center. You're trying to find the moderate path. trying to let in a new beginning, but still having a hard time letting go. You're just kind of still feeling the feels of having to let go whatever it is that you've had to let go of, whatever's completed. It might have to do with an earth sign person. I'm getting King of Coins in reverse, so that could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. This could even be you, Capricorn, in reverse. Like I'm seeing with Temperance in reverse and with King of Coins in reverse. It could just be that you're feeling out of sorts. You're feeling a little unbalanced, that you're used to this routine, or you're used to this regularity. You're used to, in some ways, the little empire that you built, or the thing that you invested in, the thing that you put effort into, your heart into, and that having to walk away is sending you a little bit off balance, a little bit off kilter. There may just be some acceptance that's needed to restore yourself to your natural balance, to feeling like you're sort of king or queen of the world, and that you are balanced and everything's in order, that your life is in order. You Capricorns like to have that. And normally, you know, King of Coins is feeling like you're on top of things. Devil in reverse, yeah. With Temperance and Devil in reverse, this could be like a real spiritual challenge for you, Capricorn. You know, we've got the Angel and the Devil on either side of you in reverse. It's almost like saying you're kind of pulled in both directions. And for some of you, I'm seeing that you don't know whether to do the right thing or the wrong thing. You're really being pulled by temptation, by external control, by feeling like you don't have a choice here, like you're tethered to something. And then, you know, it's almost like the angel's on one side and the devil's on the other side, and they're both whispering things in your ear, and you're having a hard time making a decision. It's very interesting energy. So I'm just getting that moving on from this thing has caused you to have this emotional upset. You may even be tangling with whether to do the right thing or the wrong thing. You know, this could be like a revenge card, and this could be like finding your own peace. And I'm just seeing Capricorn try to make the right decision. Choose peace. You know, choose balance. Choose your own salvation, your own serenity, your own acceptance. Don't choose fear, resistance, powerlessness, destruction. That's what I'm going to say, because that's what I'm seeing. It's just really funny how the angel and the devil are appearing on both sides of you. And with you in this Five of Cups reverse,